Welcome to Daryl's Little Corner. Tonight, we have a special treat for you, very informative. With me, let's start at the end. It's Brother Gerald Smith, Brother Joshua Johnson, and his wife, Hope Johnson. Didn't do that right, did I?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Sister Hope Johnson. I don't do good intros. I usually tell people to introduce themselves.
It's okay.
Okay, tonight we're gonna find out a little about these folks. So I know some of y'all are probably thinking, well, golly, I know them, and some of them are saying, who in the world? So let's check this out. Let's start on the end. Brother Gerald, could you tell us who you are, where are you from?
I'm originally from Ripley, Mississippi. I pastor Straightway Gospel Tabernacle and 215 McAlexander Road in Bahia in Holly Springs, Mississippi. We were in Bahia, but we moved to Holly Springs. Went to the Army in 1978, got out in 1982, and been around in and out of Ripley most all my life.
You born here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Joshua.
I'm from Walnut, Mississippi. Been there going on 13 years. I'm originally from Waterford, Mississippi, a little town of, I think, 52 population. Moved around a lot. Troubled teenager, troubled young adult. Gave my life to God and been different ever since.
Where's Waterford?
It's going towards Oxford.
It's right outside of Holly Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've been to Holly Springs, but if I ever went through there, I don't remember.
It's
Now
little
going
bitty.
down 7.
Probably went through there, but I don't remember. And his wife, Hope, where you from, honey?
I grew up in a little place called Burnsville, Mississippi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was actually in Cairo is where my home was, but I went to school in Burnsville. But yep, that's where I was
Burnsville
born.
that's home.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, how did you wind up here?
We found the house a long time ago.
Pull that mic back this way, son. Okay.
I was working at the garbage company when we found our house, and we just moved closer to my work, really. And I think we kind of got the house to flip and wind up staying a little bit longer than intended. Now it's just home.
Yeah. This Tip County kind of grows on you. I can't believe he left Tip County. Tip County grows on you. It just does. Okay, tell us where you go to church.
We go to First Apostolic Church of Ripley. We've been there. How long have we been there now?
About 4 months, 5.
About 4 months. Yeah.
How long have you been there?
I think we've been there about 4 or 5 months.
4 or 5
Time flies.
Pastor?
Brother Jeff Harp.
Okay. Brother Jeff is just getting known in this area. A lot of times, people ask me who pastors there, and they don't know who he is, but he's, if they come hear him, they'll want to come back. I promise you.
And he is anointed, and he is a walking miracle of God.
Yes, he is.
Because I actually witnessed his healing.
You did.
I did. I've not going to mention the other church's name, but I was the security at the other church. And I've actually had to pick Brother Jeff up out of the car and set him in his wheelchair multiple times because he couldn't raise his arms, nothing. So I am a witness of his full recovery.
And now he's working
Yeah,
Yep.
and pastoring.
Yep.
that's what God can do.
It's amazing. It's amazing. He was so excited about getting that job.
I know.
I thought, Lord, you're gonna have to touch that man. He's not able. But he's done good, hasn't he?
Yes.
He
But
really
when you
has.
go from basically the doctors giving up on you, saying you're going to be bedridden for the rest of your life, and then God shows the doctors, no, this is getting what
Amen.
I can do, and then God touches him and basically gives him. I mean, he's not 100% like he used to be, but
He's getting there.
yes,
Praying for complete healing.
and it's been, I think, just a little over a year being completely bedridden. To actually, and he actually did a little jig last night during service.
He
so,
did.
Yeah, I mean, so he
That sounds like it.
and so, but it just shows you how powerful God really is and
Yes,
how
he is.
faithful God is to his people.
Yes, he is. He is. You know, people, they wonder why we don't see miracles like you saw in the Bible. But God's still doing miracles. We just don't see it.
Right.
We don't look for it. We'll give anything credit except God.
Yep. And the Bible tells you God never changes.
That's right.
But the people over time has changed because now everybody's got, and nothing wrong with doctors, but everybody has put their faith in doctors so much to where if a doctor can't do it, it can't be done. But the Bible says God's still the same yesterday, today, and forever.
That's right.
So when he healed back in Moses' days, he's still doing that same healing today.
There were a lot of miracles back when they didn't have enough doctors.
Right.
They really were.
But people looked for him there. And to me, they had faith in God, not man.
That's right.
But today we put all of our faith in men. And I'm sorry, men will disappoint you. They will lie to you. They will steal.
Yes.
They will. Man's corrupt. God's not. God's pure.
I had a pastor one time that used to say he'd be embarrassed if he called the doctor before he called the pastor. Because he would pray for you. He'd pray for you on the phone. He'd come where you was at and pray for you.
Yep.
He believed in. And I don't know why people don't.
Right.
I don't know why they, it's not that you've got something special or that you're something special, it's that God is something special.
Right.
And why people are so backward about asking him, I don't know.
Right.
I don't understand that. No. But like I say, they'll go to the doctor, but they don't, they don't pray and believe God.
Right.
They don't do that. And this day and age that we live in, I mean, there's a lot of evil out in the world now. And, we're seeing our churches, the crowds get slimmer and slimmer at the churches. People just say, well, I'm watching. Well, I can watch too, but watching and participating and being in the moving of the Spirit's two different
Yes,
things.
totally different.
No, because when I was sick one time, I'd watch it on Facebook. And excuse the phrase, I'd get a little tickle over the internet.
Yeah,
But then when you're back at church, you feel a full-blown spirit.
that's right.
And there's nothing like being in a in-person service
right.
when God shows up. There's no words that can explain it.
Every time, people say that when God shows up. When I walk in that church, I bring him with me.
Oh, yeah, he's already.
Because I
he's
pray
already-
before I go,
Right.
Yeah, he's already there because he's omnipresent. He's everywhere at the
That's right.
same time. So,
That's right.
so all we got to do is usher him in because he's already there. All we got to do is open the door and allow him to come in. And that's it. Because he knocks on the doors of our heart.
Right.
That's the reason I kept going. I'm not apostolic,
Right.
but I believe in God. And when I walk in that church, I can feel the Spirit. When those people start to pray, they're serious about praying and they're reaching into the Spirit. And I just kept coming. I'd say, well, I'm not apostolic. They won't want me here. Well, I guess they do. But I had that, years ago it was that way,
Right.
And I just kept going because I think, You know, if I don't go, I think, well, they're singing now.
Wondering what's going on if you're not there?
Yeah, I can't, you know, you're gonna miss something.
Right.
There's an excitement about Jesus in that church, and that keeps you coming.
Right.
It is. It's not that I have to go to church. I don't have to. I don't have to. I can give every excuse in the books. I'm good at it. But it's that I want to go to church.
Right.
If I didn't want to go, I wouldn't go.
And you do, you
The
have to have a
church.
desire.
That's right. There's something at that church that I want. And I enjoy going.
Right.
I do. And I don't reckon they care that I'm not apostolic. I don't care that they are.
No, because to me, the devil has took denomination and divided us.
That's right.
And people, I mean, I've actually heard preachers say, you don't need to go over there because they're Baptist. Well, that's just like telling me I'm in the Bloods and can't go socialize with the Crips. There's no difference between, to me, and I ain't trying to make nobody mad, but gang bangers separating through their colors than church members separating through their denomination and beliefs. God called us all to preach Jesus Christ.
That's right.
And I mean, I'm not, some people call us Pentecostal. I'm not a Pentecostal. I'm apostolic. That's the ways of the apostles.
I'm not that either.
I mean, the apostles followed the word of Christ.
I'm just a Christian.
Right.
I've given up on that long years ago. But you know, years ago, one church wouldn't want you if you weren't their label.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I've always been the wrong label.
Right.
A lot of my close friends, you know, are different label than me. And one day I got thinking about it and I thought, I don't want a label.
Right.
I'm just a Christian. Just a Christian. I just believe Bible.
And that's what,
Christ-like.
yeah. And I mean,
That's
that's
what you gotta
what
be.
you're supposed to be.
That's it.
That's exactly what you gotta be. And
Yeah,
if we can't be
denomination.
Christ-like, then we're nothing anyway.
Right.
That label ain't gonna get you in. Well, I understand that there's a special calling on your life. Now, you know, the gifts and callings of God are without repentance. Once you've accepted that calling,
It's yours.
you done put your foot in it, there you are.
And trust me, I've argued.
All right.
I've argued.
Yeah, you don't later on say, well, the Lord decided that
No.
wasn't it.
I tried to get him to do that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I've done that too. Say, Lord, that's not what I want to do now. Okay, now let's start on the end.
Yes, ma'am.
This man interests me. Okay, you got a couple of callings, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you preach.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us what you do.
I preach the gospel, and we feed the homeless. We're looking to convert a building over on Terry Street, 401 Terry Street, into a homeless shelter and for battered women, and a place, soup kitchen where we can feed the homeless. So we're just looking to help, to put something in Ripley that Ripley is liking. It's like in love toward people, and not discrimination because of color, race, or because they're poor, they don't have anything. So that's what we're doing. We're out reaching out to those people because people need love, and so many people don't know how to show love, and that's what we're about, love of Christ.
You know, I think God's colorblind. He don't make difference in
No,
color,
no, he don't.
race, religion.
No,
He doesn't see us as different.
no,
We're all his
Two
children.
kind of people in the world, lost and saved. That's all there
yes
is.
it is.
There's not lost and loster,
Mm-mm.
or saved and saveder.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Lost and saved, that's all there is. You gotta make sure you're on the saved bunch.
Yeah.
That's what it amounts to. Took us a long time to get there, but that's the way it is.
Oh yeah.
When you read the word, that's the way it is.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, tell me about this building.
Well, we're looking for people to help us remodel it so that we can get people in and get people the help that they need.
Uh-huh.
And if we could come together as a community, stop looking at race and stop looking at looking down at other people, that we can come together and show the love of God that's spread it abroad in our heart. See, it's all about doing the will of God. Jesus didn't come to be served, but he came to be a servant, and that's what we are, servant of the people of God.
That's right. That's right. That's the biggest label you can have, servant. I think so. Now this building, tell me, now I saw pictures of it
It needs a
on Tip and News.
complete rehab.
Needs a lot of work, doesn't it?
Yes.
It needs a complete rehab. But we was told neither one of us have been in the basement because we literally have to force our way into it. So we're not gonna do that until we're getting ready to start the rehab.
Yeah.
But we've been told that there's actually, now it does have a full basement, because I've had people to talk about the video. They're like, well, that's a small building to have apartments in, plus everything else. And the apartments are gonna be downstairs. And the kitchen and I guess the serving part, food pantry deal is gonna be upstairs. We're also talking with the owner of another building beside it that we're trying to acquire too for the ministry. But any kind of help would be appreciated, because we basically gotta start from the roof and go all the
Oh,
way
yeah.
down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought that too. Are there that many homeless people in Tip County?
It's gonna be more than just homeless though, because you got, we had a brother the other night that husband and wife was going somewhere. They've been homeless for a while. So he took them, I think the car rent is where he took them and put them in a motel room. That cost us money.
Oh, yeah.
And right now, people's money's tight. And we get drifters. Me and my wife personally has helped 3 people. That was just drifters. I do own my own business, so I was able to work a couple of them for a couple days and put them in motels and give them a little pay. I mean, we try to do what we can, but I think if we get a kind of a shelter going, you'll see a lot more people come out of the woodworks, because there's right now there's nobody to help nobody. I mean, everybody's money's funny right now.
Yeah, it is. Money is tight.
Yes.
Tell us about your business.
No, we do flooring. He's my partner in crime. Yeah. He's, we talk about racial
Do you do
divides.
floor or do you do like tile?
We
or
do tile work, hardwood, install,
Repair?
sand finish, repair, also steam clean carpet, strip and wax floors. We also, I guess, build porches, additions, kind of basically everything and anything.
Okay. And if anybody's got a place that needs repair, you'd be available?
Yes, ma'am. You can reach
Get your
out.
phone number.
It's 662-882-9020. It's called Johnson Flooring and Services, LLC.
Okay. Tell your number again in case they didn't get it.
It's 662-882-9020.
Okay. And if you've got repairs that need done, people are always hunting somebody to fix stuff.
Right, and we actually show up.
Yes.
Yes.
We actually show up.
It is hard to find anybody to fix stuff. Believe me, I know.
And since we are talking about the business, me and him both have agreed, because like I said, he's my partner in crime. We've agreed every third job of the month, we give that pay to the building. So that way, I mean, we're not just begging for money or nothing. We're taking money out of our pockets and putting into this thing, because there's more people here that need help. Saturday, we did a small dinner outside of in the parking lot over on Terry Street, and we wound up feeding 50 people.
Right.
And Christmas, we don't talk about it a lot because this is not for our glory or nothing like that. But
No, but you can't get it going if people don't know about
right,
it.
but Christmas, we are the ones that put the dinner on at the park, and we wound up feeding 200 people during Christmas time.
You've got to let people know that it's out there for
Right.
them to be interested. It's not that you're patting yourself on the back.
Right,
You're just
'cause
saying,
that's
look,
not
I
what we're
need
doing.
help here.
And I'll
And
throw
we do. You need help with it. You can't do it by yourself.
I'll throw this out there, and this is just part of my testimony. My wife is sitting here, and it was all about me and my four. And this man's known me, 13, 14 years now. He was aggravating me at the Christmas dinner. We was sitting out there eating a cheeseburger with all this food in front of us. We go to Burger King and grab a burger. He starts laughing at me, and he's like, I never would have pictured you here with me doing this. But I was hard, like didn't care. My motto, you're poor because that's your choice. It's not my problem.
Yeah.
But God has took the old me and done away with it.
People are not poor by choice.
No, trust me, I see this now. But
Some
I
of
had,
them are. Some of them are.
had worldly eyes, I guess.
Yeah, some of them are poor because of their choices.
Right.
And then some people just can't get a break.
And some people, they have, like what this center, what we want this to do, it gives people a fresh start. Because, see, I was involved in drugs and streets and all that when I was younger. Well, I was blessed. God kept me out of prison. Been to jail multiple times, but I never got sentenced to prison.
Yeah.
So, but people getting released from prison for dope or whatever charges, that's the only life they're able to go to. They have no positive environment, no godly environment to go to.
They don't have any hope.
Right.
And that's what we're about, giving people hope and an opportunity to get on their feet, to know that God loves them and we do too.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Now, this is online, so people in Holly Springs can hear this. Give the address to your church.
My church is 215 McAlexander Road, Holly Spring, Mississippi.
Okay, and the name of it again?
Straightway Gospel Tabernacle, Salt and Light Ministry.
What time is services?
Time, prayer starts at 10 to 10:30. Then Sunday school starts from 10:30 to 10:30 to 10:45, and morning worship starts at 12:45.
Big on studying the Word.
Yes.
I find that there's a lacking in that in a lot of places. Okay, Hope.
Ma'am.
Where's the church at? Uh-oh.
The address, I honestly.
No, tell them how to find it. We don't know addresses in this town.
Hey, I'm,
It's behind Randall Jeter's car lot.
lot. Yeah.
That's where it's at.
there you go.
No, we could give them all them numbers. That don't mean nothing to nobody.
Hey, I'll be honest. I can get lost in a 5-gallon bucket. Like I'm not even
Me
kidding.
too.
So
Me too.
he's the directions person.
I
so.
get lost going around the square and up and down 15. I think, well, if I pass Pizza Hut.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell us what time service is.
2:30.
Our service is 2:00
Yes.
on Sundays.
Okay, and if you go to church and maybe you don't have anything going after that, you've got time to eat a bite and be there at 2:00. Works for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's first, tell me again,
First Apostolic.
Apostolic Church, yeah. And pastor is Brother Jeff Harp. You come here and you'll want to come back, I promise you.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this building on Terry Street, is this all about the homeless or is it about the needy?
It's about both.
both.
But, because some people have a home, they have a place to live.
Right.
But they may not have money to buy food. or-
Right.
You know, one time after my husband passed away, my sister-in-law asked me, she said, well, Daryl, isn't your house paid for? I said, yeah. She said, well, why do you work all the time? I said, well, I like electricity and gas heat and water. I mean, you know, just because you have a place to live doesn't mean you have what you need.
Right. Especially with prices right now.
Oh, this is terrible, yes.
And that's why this is to me, it's got to be a community effort.
Yeah.
We can't do it alone.
That's right,
We do need the whole community behind us.
yes.
But we're not benefiting nothing. It's to benefit the community.
It's a nonprofit
Right.
organization to help others. If we wanna get it where if somebody lights are turned off, we can go in
Turn 'em on.
and have them turned on. We wanna get it where,
Another thing that is a great thing to do in the community, if you have somebody that knows how, is handicap ramps.
we can do that.
There's a great need for people that, I know when I needed one, it was, you know, a couple of $100 that
Right.
at that time, since I had a sick husband, I didn't have.
Right.
But, it was a couple of $100 to get a handicap ramp.
And this is for basically once it gets going and get the finances,
Yes.
if somebody is in that predicament, they can call us and we can go build them a ramp. Because we could do the work,
Yes.
so we built several of
That
them
would be
in our time.
wonderful. There's so many ways that people need help, you know? Sometimes, like y'all took my brother-in-law a hot meal out there. That's such a blessing, such a blessing. I mean, you know, his wife just recently passed
Right.
away and he's in a wheelchair, just got one leg, and he can't stand up and cook.
Right.
You know, and a hot meal is such a blessing for him.
And we did tell him that every time we cook, we're going to take him something. And I want to throw my wife under a bus as she says it.
Bless her heart.
I'm blessed
Wives
to
always
have
get
my
this,
wife.
you know.
Oh,
Well, she's had a calling, and everybody knows if you've ever needed counseling and had to pay out of pocket, that's $100, $200 for an hour. She's got 3 more courses, and she'll be a licensed counselor. So at the building, at the outreach, and it's going to be called Jesus Way Outreach Ministry. There we'll have her little small
You know,
office.
that's quite an accomplishment. I have a granddaughter that's
Right.
that she's a counselor.
Well, she's
works on
already a
2
nurse
sides.
too.
And I promise you, she went to college 8 years. And one day, years and years later, her mother called me and she said, "Oh, Mother, I got Megan paid for."
But Hope will be there to offer free counseling.
I'm telling you, that's a big thing.
Yep.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, because everybody can't afford $100, $200 to go sit.
Everybody can't learn that stuff either.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, when you send these kids to college, or you send them to trade school, sent my son to trade school, he works on things. He'll call me and he'll tell me about taking his car apart and putting it together, and I'm like, okay. I seen him, I didn't go with him.
Right.
That's the way the granddaughter is, this counseling thing, you know, and she'll say,
Right.
"Now, Grandma, that don't make sense." And I thought, I don't have to make sense. Oh, man, you'd be surprised what young people can learn. Okay, future plans. Now, this building has a couple of rooms downstairs.
Yes, it had a basement under it.
Okay, would that be for an individual or family or?
I think right now we're going to focus on more women. And we can't mix the sexes.
No.
You know that.
I realize that.
And eventually it will, if somebody is in the premises, it will have security. in case somebody is, because a woman don't ask to be beat on, you know, especially in front of their
No,
children.
and then if you have a truly abusive guy,
Right.
he's gonna come up there and try to break you in.
I raised some pretty mean pit bulls.
I mean, well, I mean, it's fact of life.
Right. And we want everybody's welcome to eat, but I really think our first focus is going to be on women that need a place safe. We went to Tupelo, and I got 2 daughters, so young girls hold a special place in my heart. But there was 2 girls that we fed at the homeless shelter. And
Oh, that's terrible.
that was what, maybe 19, 20-ish? And I mean, I'm in my 40s, so if you're in your 20s, you're a baby to me.
Me too.
And it's like my heart went out with them because I got 2 baby daughters myself. And as long as daddy's alive, my girls got a place.
Yes.
So it's like when you see a woman on the street, especially young, where's her
It's
parents?
sometimes it's not the family's fault.
Right.
They want them, but the young people get it in their head
That they're not wanted.
and they won't come.
But a lot of people, when I was strung out, I felt worthless, hopeless. Nobody, in my eyes, nobody wanted
And
me
you don't
around.
want to go somewhere
No.
that you can't do the
Right.
habits that you get.
Because it become like, okay, my dad died when I was 13. And my mother yanked me out of basically my whole entire life and took me out of state. The people who friended me was dope dealers. And they used me to do their dirty work. And I was angry. So it was like the more rules I broke, the more I got accepted. Until I turned in a person that I wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, you get accepted by the wrong crowd when you're hurting. And that's where you get the bad kind of hope. Because once you get caught, them people are gone. You don't hear from them. You
Yeah.
do what you got
Oh,
caught
yeah.
with, you know. But that's the people you lean to, because when you're hurt, that's the people that was there for you.
You know, my dad drank, and he used to tell me, he'd say, "Now, Daryl, I have all the friends in the world as long as I got plenty of free booze.
Right.
When I run out, I don't have any friends."
Oh, yeah. When I got in church and quit doing what I was doing, we're talking about long time friends. I ain't seen them in years.
Oh, no, No, you're the grandest thing in the
Yeah.
world, but when you stop doing
But when the
that,
parties and everything
Yes.
stop, that's when they stop.
that's right. You're right. It's sad, but that's true.
But to me, what took me, I guess, time to cope with the whole converting to God was when you really find a group of Christian brothers that are for real filled with the Holy Ghost. They're there for you.
Oh, yeah.
And when you really need them, they don't offer you a line of cocaine or beer or alcohol. They're like, let's pray. That's the best friends you can ever have in
And
your
they're
life.
there,
24/7,
yes.
regardless. I mean, I got some guys right now that I truly believe I can call them at midnight, and they'll get up and come do whatever.
That's right. I mean, people who truly care about you,
Right,
not what they can get from you.
right.
Okay, now I know you're not that far into this ministry yet, but when you help people, like somebody say their electricity's gonna be turned off, how would you go about that?
We'll go straight to the electric company. We will not. I'm looking at this is not my money.
It's
So,
God.
right, it's God's money, and we have to, number one, pray for discernment,
Yes,
but we will not give out cash.
good.
Once everything gets going, like I said, we met with a guy that's gonna hook us up with the Memphis Food Pantry or a bank. So we should be able to keep groceries on site if they need food. But if they need a gas bill, water bill, one of us would personally go out to the utility company and pay it.
I asked that because I can remember one time I let somebody have some money. I just happened to be in the car when they drove up. And I just
Right.
handed out the windows, had somewhere I was supposed to be. I don't know, I just felt like I needed to, and I followed them straight to the liquor store. I thought,
And that's one thing we
yeah.
want to
So
make.
I don't give cash either.
Right. We want to make that clear. We are here to help you and to show you love. We're not here to enable a habit
No,
or promote a habit of any type.
that's right, that's right.
And-
We don't want anybody to go hungry or.
Right.
No.
You know, but, and sometimes, like if somebody's house burns, they need clothing.
Right.
You know, but, I never, that broke me from giving cash.
Right.
It did. And do you check it out and see if there is a true need?
We're gonna have to come up with some kind of questionnaire, and we will probably need proof of like check stuff. This will be a personal deal, but it will be confidential after everything's answered. Everything will be shredded. But I feel like if you're coming to us for help, then we should be allowed to ask personal
Yes.
questions.
I think so too, because now I've over the years, of course, like I say, I've been around a long time.
Right.
It's not something that happened every day, but I have helped people and later on realized I had more than I did.
Right.
You know, I would take money out of my grocery money and we would, you know, my children wouldn't have
Right.
extras. They had what they needed, they didn't have extras. And give it and then come find out it wasn't really a need.
Right.
I learned that you just have to check things out.
Right. And see, we used to volunteer and donate to the Good Samaritan. That's a great place. But I know on their policy is
A lot
so
of that's
strict. They literally, like if they make, I think, $2 more, they can't help.
Yeah,
In our case, we will have because a lot of times your monthly management of your money has an effect on your bills.
but people come down there and they get a box full of stuff. Maybe there's grape jelly in there and they don't eat grape jelly.
Right.
And they're afraid to say, you know, give this jar of jelly to somebody else that'll use it.
Right.
Because they think, well, they'll think I, you know, don't need. And they'll cut my.
But we won't.
You got to use some wisdom in that.
And we do not want food to go to waste.
That's right.
Because
if you're not
over
gonna eat it, give it back.
Saturday, the ladies from our church did an awesome job.
They do.
The ministry, basically, I cooked the soup, and the ladies made sandwiches, which by the time it was over
I
with,
thought about that, how much it was going to take
well,
making it. I mean, you talk about a big lot of soup.
I think about 15 gallons is what I
I
made.
thought about that.
But the ladies came up with, I know, 200 sandwiches plus. So none of them went to waste, though. They all filled somebody's stomach.
good. You know, this day and time, like I say, the work is slow,
Right,
money is tight, people can't do things they used to do, the prices are high.
right.
You know, just the price of eggs is enough to tell you that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you think, well, that's, you know, a little thing, but you add up the eggs and the bread and the, you know,
Oh, yeah.
at the end of the cashier, you know, it's just big bucks.
You
And
can't.
people they can't make it from one month to the next on what they get.
No, because right now, on average,
Our elderly are in trouble and our working.
Yes.
The working people are not getting enough work,
right.
but the elderly are on a fixed income and there's no
And they
overtime
can't
on
do
that.
nothing. And that's the point, because you can't, like, my wife tell you, now, I'm bad about grocery shopping. I don't look at prices. But on an average meal, I can't do nothing under 40, 50 bucks. And that's one meal for a family of 4.
I have a granddaughter that does my shopping. She can stretch a buck till it squeals. She does. We don't do without anything, but she checks coupons and double coupons and online
Right.
stuff, and I mean, she's with it, boy.
Well, now you got to stretch every dollar.
Well, she's better shopper than I ever was, as she is. But now, for a food pantry, that's not that easy, is it?
No, because just a soup,
You can't have things that'll go bad.
No, no.
it's gonna be mainly canned goods and dry products.
Yeah, we probably have a few freezers in there to have some meat in there, but,
Now, dry products, you got to have that in glass or you'll have mice.
This is not,
About.
this is not
That's
easy.
a lot to think about.
Right. I mean, this is something, like I said, I beg God to pass the plate. Because I'm the type, I'm stubborn. But God's my father. He's my best friend. I should be able to talk to him.
Yep.
But this is not me. This is all God and for his glory. Because I could easily, and I don't mean no harm, I could easily go home and relax and not worry about nobody but mine. But that's not what God put me here to do.
That's right.
And I'm not, you kind of get tired of running because eventually God catches you.
Not fun, not fun.
No, and he loves you, so he whoops you. I've had my whooping. Now it's time for me to straighten up and do.
You know, when God gives you something to do, you either do it or wish you had.
Right.
You know, just be miserable. Yeah. And sometimes he puts something in front of you and you're the one that sees the vision. And maybe people around you, they don't see it.
No.
Well, God didn't tell them.
Right.
He
Some,
told you.
some people think I'm crazy
Yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
when I'm
I thought
cooking,
Noah was kind of nutty.
well, you know, cooking's work. Like the food we've been giving out is fresh cooked.
Yeah.
It ain't, store bought.
Yeah.
It's cooked. It's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
But it
is.
makes me happy that, I can't explain it. And like during Christmas, 2 days of smoking hams and turkeys. And we're not talking about sleep, I'd catch a nap between time. But the enjoyment that I get is the blessing. And it's something I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do is because of the feeling I get.
Now, one problem that you have, now you have people that go to everything that's free.
Yes.
oh, yes.
Then you have people that really don't have anything, but they don't ask for anything.
And if you don't
And
ask, we
You
can't
gotta
help.
find them.
Right.
You gotta find them people that truly need, but they just don't ask for anything.
And she put it on Facebook, and I put it on Facebook Saturday, and I will put it back out there. If anybody does know where the homeless population is, let us know.
Yeah, if you know where there's somebody that's truly got a need,
Right.
maybe their house burned or they've, got out of work, couldn't pay the
Right.
rent. Then they need to contact somebody, but that person might not. It's a
Right.
question, maybe it's pride or maybe it's just, to me, I never asked anything of a church.
Right.
To me, that's somewhere that you give of yourself and of your means, and I've never asked the church for anything. And I don't know that I would.
But I'm going to say this too.
But you can't be blessed of God for doing what he gave you to do if nobody will accept what you're giving.
But I believe God will send the right people to you. And I want to say this, everything we do, especially if somebody came to me one-on-one, I am accountable for other people's money. And my church has been donating, and when we take up the special offering, I tell people basically what's in the account because it's not my money.
Yeah.
They're giving that to the cause. And to me, that's God's money. I got receipts, deposit slips. I'm not touching that money for me personally.
Yeah.
But I will never out somebody. If you come to me and say, look, I need my electric bill paid, if we had the money, we go pay your electric bill, I will keep a receipt. But I'll never say, John Doe, we paid John Doe's electric bill.
And you know, that's, to me, you see these, you see them on TV, you see them in our churches. Every time you ask for prayer, or every time that you give something, or you receive something, they gotta get up with a
You
microphone
got a
and
camera
tell
on
it.
your face
Yeah.
too.
Put it on Facebook, yeah, put it
No,
on Facebook. And I think that's a big hindrance.
Yes, because
I've got this thing, you know, where you lay up treasures in heaven.
right.
That's it.
I don't think you're gonna be blessed both places.
No,
If you're busy doing it to make sure everybody knows it, what's the
Right.
point?
You done got your reward then.
That's right. That's what I
But-
think.
But the glory belongs to God.
right,
But you trying to steal God's glory.
right.
See, God touches the heart,
That's right.
and which come from the heart reaches the heart. So what we're doing, we're trying to reach the heart of them that don't have and those that like, and that's what we're about, showing God love.
Yeah, 'cause it's not about
I
us.
agree with that. I agree with that. I just, that's always been a pet peeve when I go up to pray. Never tell them my business. Learned it over the years.
They'll use it against you.
I mean, all I need is for them to reach God and say, hey, she's here. I don't, if something's wrong with me or in my home or in my life,
Right.
whatever it is, if I wanted it known, you know, I'd put it in the paper.
Right.
Well, you know, God gives many sense of discernment, because He let us know what to pray for.
That's right.
And you don't have to tell nobody your business, because God, if God wants you to know, He'll reveal it to those that are
That's
praying
right.
for you. So that's, you don't have to go up. You go up to where I need prayer, okay? You don't have to tell whoever praying for you what you need prayer for, because if God wants them to know, then God will reveal it to them.
Right.
I went to a church, it's been several years ago, and during his messages, he would relate back to people's needs that he prayed for maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And I just thought, no, can't do that, can't do that. There's a privacy thing.
Right.
If people wanted their business known, like I say, they'd put it in the paper, put it on Facebook, you know. And a lot of people do, that's their business, but I don't. And I can't see where that helps anything.
It don't.
I don't know, some things are just private, personal. I just don't, I don't know, sometimes I just don't get it. Okay, now this building over here on Terry Street, I'm really interested in that. It's got a basement,
Yes, it does.
and it's a church, isn't it?
It used to be a church. I bought it.
It's pretty on the outside, isn't it?
It used to
I
be.
drove by there and it looked pretty good to me.
It's got good bones.
It's a stone building.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's got a good foundation.
yeah, I thought it looked good. I didn't even know it wasn't, that they weren't meeting there anymore.
Yeah, I bought it 3 or 4 years ago, and I hadn't got a chance to remodel. I guess I know God was speaking to me, and we got enough churches in Ripley, popping up everywhere,
They are.
but we don't have enough ministry showing love, and that's what it's about. It's all about love and helping one another, and God laid on my heart.
You know, you're right. There's churches everywhere, but some of them don't have 5 or 10 people.
Right.
It's getting the people interested in coming and worshiping. I think COVID did that.
Well, you look
They
at,
got used to sitting in their pajamas and watch it on TV and think it's good enough. But like we said earlier, it's a lot of difference between watching a service and being in that service.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be in the service where I can feel the moving of God.
Right.
When you go and you feel that really stirring of the Spirit, it'll make you want to come back.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. Makes you want to come back, because it did me. I think our churches have a lot to offer, but we've hit a day and age where people, it's not enough to offer them Jesus. They want to be entertained.
yeah,
Now, in the Bible, I don't believe that they were entertained. In fact, there was one fellow that preached long and boring, and a fellow was sitting in a window and fell
Paul.
out
Paul.
and died. They had
And
to go out there and pray
stopped,
for him.
he stopped preaching and went down
Yes,
and prayed for him.
yes, they did. And so that tells you that they were not entertained,
Right.
No.
but we expect to be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
If a church doesn't offer a ball team or some kind of entertainment, people think they're not got nothing to offer.
Right.
But I don't go to church for that. I go to church because I'm hungry for Jesus.
Right.
When in my day, what they offered me was a way to make heaven and miss hell.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's what they offered me.
That's
And all this glitz and pretty stuff don't impress me much.
Right.
But you can't grow a church now if you don't have it.
Right.
That's sad. But our people expect to be entertained.
Yes.
oh, yeah.
Different world. I remember when they'd throw up these benches, it would be like 2 tree stumps and a board, a rough board. You didn't wear stockings because
Right.
there wasn't no point in it, nothing knit. And they'd throw up 2 or 3 light bulbs if they had them. And some guy would get up there and try not to swallow a bug when he was preaching.
But yeah,
And people came.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get all the cars in the yard. People were hungry for God, but it seemed like people are not hungry anymore.
Right.
It's like they don't think they need God. And if you read this stuff online, you think, oh, Lord, what has happened? Because some of this stuff is terrible. It's terrible. Because people they don't believe in God. They don't believe in nothing. I guess they think they're, I don't know, popped out of a monkey or something.
Yep.
I don't know, but it worries you that when we leave here, that's what we're leaving for our grandchildren.
Right.
Well, your children, my grandchildren. But I worry about that, what'll happen to the young people. But this economy is terrible. And I think there's a great need for this ministry.
Right.
Okay, give the address again.
401 Terry
401
Street.
Terry Street.
Okay, if you want to help, now this will be online, it'll stay for a long time.
Yeah.
If you want to help, how do you get in touch with somebody to offer?
You can call my number, 662-544-9128, or you can call Brother Joshua Johnson, or you can call Hope Johnson, or you can call my wife. Her number is 662-587-6226.
Okay? And because you're going to need a lot of volunteers.
Oh, yes.
And they can reach out on Facebook too. I mean, I have Messenger, so private message if you, because I'm going to try to, when we get started, to have a website, Facebook page, kind of to keep people
In the
up
loop.
with in the loop to see, progress and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they can reach out, private message me if they, they don't have to necessarily comment and make it public because, like you said, it's not really for recognition. So, if they,
Do you have a title for your ministry?
It's Jesus' Way.
Jesus Way Ministry.
Jesus Way Ministry. Okay. I was thinking if you had a page on Facebook that was listed as Jesus Way
Well,
Ministries.
my email is Jesus458way@hotmail.com.
Okay,
And, well, the Lord put that ministry in my heart a long time. And finally, he gave me to carry it forward.
okay, what do you need first?
A roof.
We
A
need
roof.
roof.
A roof. So, I mean, if there's roofers listening, this is it's a worthy cause. That's what I was thinking, because you gotta know where you're gonna start.
Yes.
You gotta start somewhere. And, you're gonna have to have people that can help.
And we've
help
got,
with things.
during the dinner Saturday, there was several guys that come over, and they're kind of like us. They don't have the finances, but they got the manpower
Yeah,
to help us.
yeah,
And any kind of help, because it's going to be a complete gut job when we get started. So
Yeah.
the more manpower that can show up, the quicker the gutting will be.
yeah, you're right.
The build back is gonna, I guess, depend on donations, and
It'll be slow, it's not something that's gonna happen
Right.
overnight.
we're looking at least a year, I think, minimum.
I would think, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at thousands of dollars to put the building back together.
We're looking roughly 50,000. That's mainly material.
That's a lot of money,
It is.
it is. But in the long run, it'd be worth it.
Right. And really, the 50,000 kind of don't even count the apartments down in the basement, because we haven't seen them yet.
But
Yeah.
So
And then you were talking about the building next door.
yes.
we want to try to purchase it. The owner, I actually got to meet Saturday and told him to go pray about it. And
Is it something that needs fixing?
he said one room sweated and sheetrock fell. So if we could get that building and get that one room fixed, that would be something that we could actually open up and start with the
Well, I was
apartments.
thinking, if you could get it fixed where it's livable,
right.
you could rent it, use the rent money to fix the main building.
Well, see, this is no money is going to be exchanged. This is strictly
We're hoping if we can get that building, maybe we can get up and running a little bit sooner. That way we can kind of start there and
because
move
like
over.
expand.
right now I know we're
I was thinking 50,000, it's gotta come from somewhere.
right,
Yeah.
but like right now I know we're a 19-year-old kid sleeping in a car. I mean, so how can you sit there and charge somebody like that rent?
Yeah,
And she's got a job. I mean, so it ain't like she's not doing
ain't got
nothing.
nowhere to stay. Well, Tony says we are out of time. One more time. Church,
Straightway Gospel Tabernacle, 215 McAllen Road, Holly Springs, Mississippi.
church,
First Apostolic of Ripley, Highway
Okay.
4 behind Jeter.
behind
'Cause I
Randall's
don't know-
car
Yeah,
lot.
because I don't know the address.
That's family, Randall Jeter, yeah. Okay, and anything you can do to help this ministry would be appreciated. And if you have, if you know of somebody that's homeless or, you know, let them know. Let them know and do what they can. Appreciate so much you tuning in. But we are out of time. Be sure and catch the Jeter Family Program Saturday night at 7 at night. We'll be back Monday at 7 o'clock for Daryl's Little